again. Sam Ekstrom and Luke Inman, Vikings targets leading up to the NFL draft. Zone coverage draft guide all around you. Click on any of the links on the screen, take you to a different page, and just enjoy the content. Cornerbacks going to get nuts, as you like to say, Luke Inman. Vikings lose their 3 primary cornerbacks from last year. Xavier Rhodes cut, Mac Alexander, Trey Waynes. They're on to Cincinnati, signing with the Bengals in free agency. Fortunately for the Vikings, it's a deep cornerback class, and we've got a bevy of names here from which to choose. Luke, take us through, your initial thoughts on this conundrum the Vikings face with all these spots to fill.
It's going to be interesting to see the front office's mindset. Remember, Anthony Harris maybe still on the trading block. He could get moved during draft weekend. We'll get into safeties as well. But bottom line, they need to replenish the secondary in a big way. Now, if Mike Zimmer is such a DB guru, maybe they want to wait. Maybe they said they got confidence in some of the day 2, day 3 guys we'll get into. But if they want to punch one at 22 or 23, like a lot of the positions we've talked about, Sam, there is a tier. I think Fulton and C.J. Henderson belong in that top tier. Either one falls in your lap at 22, I think you just got to punch it.
And this is very much like the receiver class. It's hard to know who's going to fall, who's going to be the omission in round 1. Does someone like Trayvon Diggs, because they're not sure about his speed, does he fall to round 2? And Diggs is interesting from a Viking standpoint. Would they entertain taking the brother of the disgruntled Stephon Diggs who just got traded?
Well, it's interesting because without all that off-the-field noise, this guy would be one of the most intriguing from a physical perspective, a speed perspective, outstanding in zone scheme perspective for Mike Zimmer to ever have. I think in a year or two, he could be your next CB1 in that Xavier Rhodes type of role. He's that good. Again, like you mentioned, off-the-field issues, maybe they won't even entertain that. Jeff Gladney reminds me a lot of Jason Barrett. Both came from TCU, a little bit undersized, but they have that pit bull mentality. You start to get into day 2, if they skip at 22 and 25 in secondary, they say, Zimmer, you're such a guru. Let's spend more picks and assets on the offense. There's a lot of entertaining names here. I know you like Jaylen Johnson. Wouldn't be surprised if he snuck in to the end of the first round. I want to know where Bryce Hall's going to go, because before an ACL injury early in this 2019 season, heading into the year, he was one of the top 3 cornerbacks in the country. He's very well along already through his rehab process. We'll keep an eye on Bryce Hall, because somebody's going to get great value because of the ACL injury. If the medicals check out, somebody in that 40 to 50, 60 range is going to get great value on Bryce Hall. I like him a lot.
I'm on the Jaylen Johnson train into day 2, and I'm on the C.J. Henderson train on day 1. I love Henderson's combination of size, speed. He's shown in college that he can be a ball hawk. He can be a coverage blanket. Kind of fell off his junior year a little bit, and he might be off the board by 22. Who knows? But the point is, rounds 1 through 3, I think you've got a ton of talent right here. Now, the Vikings tend to take some defensive backs late on day 3. 6th, 7th round has been their window under Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman. I'm not sure any of these players will fall that far, but what do you think about the day 3 crop?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there may be a realistic possibility, Sam. We go into training camp, rookie OTAs with Mike Hughes, Holton Hill, and Chris Boyd is your nickel package. You want to bring in another one of these guys here. Amik Robertson is outstanding when you talk about that pit bull mentality like Jeff Gladney. He's only 5'8", plays like he's 6'2". Love the value he's going to bring. Troy Pride was just rock solid at the Senior Bowl, covering some really big, intriguing wide receiver prospects he's going to face in the NFL, like Denzel Mims and some other guys like Van Jefferson. Darnay Holmes is a wild card of the group because he was a 5-star recruit coming into UCLA, one of the best high school cornerback prospects. When Chip Kelly took over at UCLA, there was a little bit of a transition period for Chip Kelly. Maybe he didn't live up to his potential. Who could unlock his potential, that 5-star ability and talent? Probably a guy like Mike Zimmer.
Vikings have 12 picks scheduled for the draft. Could end up being more. Knee-jerk reaction, over-under, 2.5 cornerbacks taken.
I will say, believe it or not, I will say under. I think this front office is going to, in year 6 of Mike Zimmer, invest a lot into the offense and say, Zim, Whether we draft guys early or whether we draft late, doesn't seem to matter. You find a way to turn J-Ron Curses, Stephen Weatherly's of Fetty's, Anthony Harris, UDFA, into starting caliber guys. Let's give Kirk Cousins the protection and help he needs.
He's Luke. I'm Sam. Check out the rest of the Zone Coverage Draft Guide. Plenty more videos where that came from on this very page.